The wild card series is over. We were okay in our predictions, James. 2 of 4, 50-50. You'll take that. 3 of 4 on my part. Couldn't let my Yankee bias get out of the way. But of course, that's part of having a personality, is making sure that you stand on your laurels and hate the Yankees till the end of times. But today we're going to be going through every single matchup in the divisional series in both the American League and National League and give you guys our full series previews and predictions as to what we think is going to happen. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the Windup so you don't miss out on any of the baseball content coming at you. We do appreciate you. Without further ado, James, let's get talking about this Yankees Blue Jay series. Probably one of the more anticipated ones of the divisional series. This has been a good rivalry this year. The Blue Jays took the series 8-5 over the Yankees in the 13 games that they played this season. And we know that both on and off the field, it's pretty hot between these two teams.
Hostile. We had an announcer war between these two teams because the softest man in baseball media, Michael Kay, couldn't handle the fact that the
He's a
Yankees
lion.
were losing division to the Blue Jays. Then the Blue Jays announcers came back at Kay, brought a broom when they swept him, and kind of de facto won the series in August. Almost slipped up at the end, but still managed to do it. When I look at these two teams, I look at these two rosters, the exact same take I had the last series with the Yankees, just guy for guy. I do not know how the Blue Jays wind up winning this.
So I think it's weird because we're Blue Jays haters from the start of the year, even though we do have a bet from the end of last season. Me and James do this where we bet a team that's plus 5,000 odds to win the World Series. We did it with the Rangers. They won 2023. We did it with the Mets in 2024. Pretty damn close. And gotta say, the Blue Jays, probably the best pick that we could have had at the plus 5,000 range to win the World Series. They're playing good baseball, though. This team, like, totally opposite of what they've been in the past. They've got so much dog this year. I feel like every time that they've been pushed up against a wall or had any sort of challenge, they've stepped up. And you look around the field, they're getting performances they wouldn't have expected from almost everybody on this roster.
Yeah, so much dog, just like the Red Sox. But I think the biggest thing what comes down to with the Blue Jays is that can this rotation
That's the
just
big thing.
stand up in a playoff series against this Yankees lineup? Like Kevin Gausman's a very good pitcher. He had a sensational season. We've seen him run into some roadblocks in the playoffs as being a two-pitch pitcher. Shane Bieber, I said, was one of the most important moves that happened the trade deadline on this channel. At the same time, has not had a lot of success specifically against the Yankees when he was even healthier and stronger, younger in his career. Max Scherzer is going to give up 4 runs in 4 innings, in like the third or fourth game of the series, and everybody winds up pitching. And then you have Trey Savage, who's a big question mark. It's this series more than I think some of the other ones absolutely positively comes down to game 1 because the way the Yankees just used Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, and superstar Cam Schlittler in the 3 games against the Red Sox, they're going to be using a tandem of Luis Gil and Will Warren supposedly in game 1 against, I don't think we even have the announcement whether that's going to be Bieber or Gausman yet. I
It
believe
will
it's
be interesting
Gausman.
to see because
It's Gausman.
I would assume it's Gosman, but he's got worse worse numbers at home this year than he does on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of innings, 100 innings on both sides, basically.
Oh, for sure. But,
But
it
it
take
is
the ball, your dog.
he's still good both ways. So that's also the thing that's like, who cares? Go with your best pitcher.
Totally. But just based on the way the scheduling is working out after the wild card series, if Gosman loses to Will Warren, Luis Gil,
Yes.
and then you have to look and you see Fried, Rodon, Schlittler next, I don't know how the Blue Jays win 3 out of 4 games with those 3 pitchers on the mound.
The only thing I will say is that the Red Sox pitching was also horrible, and the Yankees didn't really hit. It took a lot of the Red
True.
Sox defense helping them out a lot. So it's not like the Yankees' bats have been particularly good, where the Blue Jays lineup has been swinging it all year long, which is kind of shocking, but Alejandro Kirk's been amazing.
Awesome.
Vlad Jr.'s awesome. Bo Bichette's hurt, so they've been rocking with Andres Jimenez now at shortstop, right? He's been playing short.
And hopefully that even stays there if Bo Bichette returns. I'm curious because Andres Jimenez is one of the best pure defenders in baseball, but his value is always a little bit capped because he's playing second base rather than shortstop because the arm's a little light. But he looks like he can handle shortstop. So I do wonder if you could just slot Bo Bichette now at second instead of Ernie Clement, and then you could use Ernie Clement as like your defensive substitute, or Ernie Clement gets in a start against a lefty over Addison Barger when they face Rodon and Fried. Like I wonder, there's a lot of ways for the Blue Jays to play this, but again, it will take a lot from George Springer, who's one of the best hitters in baseball.
Yes.
Him and Vlad Guerrero, and if Bichette's healthy, they have to drive the bus. But guys like Kirk, Varsho, who had really good seasons, especially second half for Dalton Varsho, one of the best center fielders in baseball. I know you love that, Mark. That's really important. And then there's one huge wild card here for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Anthony Santander.
That's the one. If Anthony Santander hits 1 home run this series, I think the Blue Jays have a really good chance to win it. But we don't know what's going to happen with him.
Yeah, he's been pitiful this year. I know he's dealt with injury, but before that, he was so bad with the Blue Jays. but we saw him hit for way too long to think that he's a bad hitter. He might not be the hitter that
Yeah.
he was in Baltimore because that was a way more hitter-friendly ballpark, especially for him, but he's too talented of a player to be as bad as he is, but also you could make that argument that maybe George Springer is not going to play like at an MVP level because he is 36, but maybe he will.
Yeah, maybe he will. He just did the whole year, and I feel like George Springer, he sees that Yankee uniform on the other side of the field, and something is going to course through his veins that happened when he was on the Astros.
I want to ask you this. So lineups against each other. This doesn't have to influence your picks. I just want to know what you think. Who do you think has the better offense lineup wise, Yankees or Blue Jays?
I think definitely Yankees, especially based on the fact that the Blue Jays don't have a left-handed starting pitcher. Lots of good lefty relievers, which we'll talk about in a second. But the fact that the Yankees can jam that lefty lineup with Bellinger, Rice, Jazz, Wells, Grisham, like that is against. I mean, Gausman not really platoon splits, Bieber not really platoon splits either. But just giving those guys the comfort to be in that lineup against right-handed pitchers, they're going to have a terrifying top six every game of the series.
Are they going to pick Max Scherzer in this series?
Who else is going to pitch? Who if they go to game 4? Who will
Eric
start it?
Lauer.
Maybe. I mean, maybe Eric Lauer does get like spot innings. Like him, Mason Fluharty. Like those are going to be huge guys this series.
They did the Louis Varland opener the other day too, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know. Let's go to our predictions because we kind of know what these teams are. The Yankees are better on paper, but the Blue Jays had the Yankees number, similarly to the Red Sox this year. James, who are you going?
Yankees.
Yankees, how many games?
4.
Okay, I'm going to go Blue Jays in 5. Still got to hate the Yankees. Also, I did pick the Blue Jays to win the World Series in my predictions. So,
Did you actually?
Oh, of course I picked the Blue Jays to win it all. They're the hottest team in baseball. They're so good. Look at that record. But until
I want them to win.
I want them to win too. I mean, we knew back on November 2nd that the Toronto Blue Jays were going to win the World Series in 2025. I'd love to cash another $500 bet from the day the season ends the prior year.
Yeah, but a lot of this is going to come down to, again, you got to win Gausman Bieber games.
Can't lose to Luis Hill, Will Warren.
Yariel Rodriguez probably gets lanked as well. Like that, Jeff Hoffman can't give up a home run. If Jeff Hoffman gives up one home run this series, I don't see the Blue Jays doing it.
Okay. You got Yankees in 4. I got Blue Jays in 5. Let's move on to the second series of the American League. Tigers versus Mariners. This one, to me, I'm going to be honest, feels like the easiest pick out of all of them. I think it's Mariners in 3 games, and I don't even think it's close. I think it's probably realistically Mariners in 4. I'm being a little bit of talking head hyperbole guy here because Tarek Skubal's going to pitch in one of these games, and he probably wins that game just because he's that good. But I don't know how the Tigers beat the Mariners in those other games that Tarek Skubal's not on the mound.
Yeah, watching the Tigers versus the Guardians series, it seemed like if the Tigers were playing any team, not even just in the playoffs, most of the other teams in baseball besides the Guardians, they might have wound up losing that series.
Except maybe the Reds.
But and the Mets. You were right about your prediction of that series being just a Tarek Skubal trump card. And the shorter the series, the more of a trump card that he is. We saw that last year as well in the wildcard series with Skubal in Houston. But that is another thing here where I do know that the Mariners, they haven't announced their pitchers yet. I'm sure Logan Gilbert will be the game 1 starter. We don't know what's going to happen with Brian Wu, and we've had some questions about George Kirby at times this season. Same with Bryce Miller, who I think there's a chance he's even just left off the roster entirely. But if the Tigers can somehow find a way to scrounge out a game 1 victory against Logan Gilbert, and then you have Skubal game 2, suddenly the Mariners are just completely shitting themselves.
Yeah, like I mean, I know I just said the Tigers have no chance. They obviously have a chance, but like the Mariners are way better than the Tigers at literally every single thing that they do. The Tigers have, again, the best pitcher in the series being Tarek Skubal, but then you look up and down the roster, and the Mariners are just class above every single spot.
I'll say this for the Tigers. I'm a little bit tired of Wenzel Perez hitting third.
You're done with Wenzel?
I like him as a player. I think he should be in the lineup.
Is he hitting third?
He's hit third every game this series.
Was he? I thought they went... Oh, yeah, because they were hitting Riley Green 5th. Yeah.
Yes. Riley Green's been hitting 5th for a lot of the second half because he's been struggling. But in the playoffs, and I got this wrong last series, sometimes you have to throw momentum out the window and just go guy for guy, like I just said. Like even just putting Torkelson 3 and Riley Green 4, so you can still go righty-lefty in the top 4 of this lineup, which is objectively still a good top 4 of Torres, Carpenter, Torkelson, Green. Like that is still bats that can do well enough to win you a playoff series.
Yes.
And my dog Dylan Dingler, he
boy.
might have been the player of the series. IO baby.
Wait, dude, are you not hip to Tiger's Twitter?
Not very much at all.
Tiger's Twitter is unreal toxic. It's crazy. They were calling for Dylan Dingler's head yesterday because he was like 0 for 9 in the series before he hit the home run. They were like, Jake Rogers has to be playing. He's a much better defender too. I was like, Dylan Dingler
Dingler's an
is
awesome
a
defender.
superior player to Jake Rogers. This fan base also like hates Riley Green at times on Twitter. It's ridiculous.
The Riley Green hate is interesting though because he's one of the only 5 qualified players the whole league this year that have a strikeout rate over 30%.
Yeah.
But the other guys were I think were Ellie, Trout, no, not Ellie, O'Neal Cruz, Mike Trout, Ryan McMahon. And then you look at the last 3 years though for Riley Green, like you have these major peaks and valleys, and I know that Tigers fans were expecting superstar production. It's like a 270, 330, 480 triple slash over
He's
3
awesome.
years with a nearly 30% strikeout rate. Like he is really good, but in the playoffs, you do kind of feel the weight of strikeouts a little bit more. And you had that in game 2 of the series when the Tigers had a huge shot to end the series. And AJ Hinch pinch hit Jahmai Jones for Riley Green with a lefty on the mound, Eric Saborski, another guy we said to watch in this series. And it didn't work out. Jahmai Jones struck out against the lefty. So
Yeah.
at some point, this might be same with Wenzel Perez hitting third. You kind of have to trust your guys a little bit. And the way the Tigers do win this series, we have to identify a path for them. It's you win game 1, it's because your top 4 can hit Logan Gilbert.
I just got to say, you're out of heater right now of just slightly mispronouncing names. You've been saying Kevin Gausman, it's Gausman. You've been saying Wenzel Perez, it's Wenzel. And then you just hit us with Saborski for Sabrowski.
That's
Electric.
perfect right there. It's all 0 for 3.
Embracing the old man New Jersey Italian in you.
Yeah, right. I mean, almost 30, might as well. But like, we should talk a little bit about the Mariners because we haven't seen them yet.
No.
This is, if you want to talk about team momentum, this is the hottest team in baseball besides the Phillies through the last 8 weeks of the season.
Ever since you said that you stopped believing
since I didn't trust them. I said they had to do something to prove my trust. They did it. Now I trust them a lot now. But the top of their lineup is ferocious as it's currently constructed. Randy Rosarena finished season really hot.
Awesome.
Cal Raleigh. Julio Rodriguez played an MVP level for the last 3 months of the season, but no one talked about it because the first 6 weeks were poor. Josh Naylor ended the season hot. Eugenio Suarez found to stroke a little bit. It is another
Jorge
Buckeye.
Polanco is good.
Dominic Hanson, another Buckeye. Dylan
Crushes
Dingler, college
righties.
teammate. Yeah, like this, they have guys, and they do have a deep bench of players who can do things. Like Luke Raley will crush righties, and he can run a little bit. Like Cole Young plays good defense, and he has a pesky at bat, and he's another left-handed bat. Like they have weapons here. But this a big part for the Mariners, more so about trying to win the pennant than winning this series. We need answers on Brian Wu. We have not gotten them yet.
Yes, that part is a little bit scary, but in a shorter series won't matter as much as if they get to a 7-game, but they have to get there. All right. Predictions, James. What do you got for this one? Because I said Mariners in 3, but it's really more like Mariners in 4.
I likewise would say Mariners in 4. Scooble will win his game, but I think that this Mariners team has too much talent, and we saw some of the cracks in the Tigers bullpen, even just that 3-game series against a minor league lineup and the bullpen. I told you the 2 guys I was watching for Troy Melton and Tyler Holton. Tyler Holton, great. Troy Melton, horrible. They needed
Gave up a home run to Rocchio.
They needed one of those 2 guys to be something serious, and at least one of them was, because I don't think they would have won the series without that. But
that Guardians team is so unserious.
It's just minor league hitters for most of the lineup. They literally called up a minor leaguer to play in this major league debut one of the games.
Like, I love Chase DeLauder. I think he's going to be good. But they called him up, and he hadn't played in like 3 months in the minors. And they're like major leagues.
Great moment, though, when that happened, because Chase DeLauder, in his first ever Major League Baseball appearance, his first ever fly ball hits him. Not a center fielder. Dropped a fly ball in center field. It felt like it could have undone them. Tanner Bybee got out of the jam, and Chase DeLauder was stewing afterwards. Bybee comes up to him, puts a hand on his shoulder. It's okay. We'll get him next time. That was a nice moment. Just like to see those things in the playoffs.
All right, let's move on to the National League now. These are some series right here. This is what we're talking about. This is what we've been waiting for. Let's go with the Brewers versus Cubs first. It's a legit rivalry. These teams are close. I think it's like an hour and a half away from each other. Cubs fans pack Milwaukee. Milwaukee goes to Chicago. The series was close. In the 13 games they played, it was 7-6 in favor of the Cubs. This is going to be the sneaky best series of this round of the postseason, where I think people have Dodgers-Phillies circled. This might be actually the best baseball played.
I think that because this is also the closest series we're going to have. Like, I think this is going to sound crazy to say. I get crushed in these comments a lot. I don't know if these teams are that different on paper. I really don't.
Interesting.
Looking at them right now, like, I know I've talked a lot of smack about the Cubs, but if Cade Horton's healthy and the way Matthew Boyd just pitched, I'm not really afraid of this Brewers lineup at all. I see them up and down. I don't know. How many runs can they score a game?
I think that's been their issue every year that they make the playoffs, is this feels almost more sustainable in the regular season than the playoffs, but also at the same time, because like you do need some pop at some point. You need that big swing. Although I don't think we really saw many home runs in the wild card round. Now that I think about it, besides the Dodgers, who,
Seiya.
yeah, and Seiya. I mean, Seiya did hit some big stuff, but the Brewers in the postseason, they do the thing that we like though, which is they don't strike out and they play incredible defense. Those are two
Yes.
things that the Brewers do about better than anybody left in the postseason. I don't know about the strikeout if they're the best at it, but they don't strike out very often. They have pesky at bats, and that can wear on a team, especially like the Cubs, who when you start looking at pitch counts, when you start looking at matchups, the Brewers are just going to outmatch up the Cubs. That's one thing they're going to have a
Easily.
major advantage in.
Yeah, starting bullpen, the Brewers have a tremendous advantage. But we just kind of saw this with the Padres versus the Cubs, where if you're a team that doesn't have a ton of pop, like the Brewers, Blue Jays, Brewers, close, it puts a lot of pressure on the best hitters in your lineup to do things. And when you have a series where Fernando Tatis does not show up at all, completely invisible man, and Manny Machado gets one big hit, it did win the Padres their one game, but he got, I think, one actual hit in the series.
Xander Bogaerts, I think, had one hit. I think they were 2 for 39, those three combined.
Like when you look at that, and Merrill had a good series as well, but I mean, he had just kind of hit the home run. Like there were 11 total runs scored in that series between the Padres and Cubs. Both teams, 3 games, 11 combined runs. There's a lot of pressure in this series that's going to be on Christian Yelich, Jackson Chourio, William Contreras, and newfound power hitter Bryce Terang to be the guys that can be the run producers. Because when you get below them, Andrew Vaughn, while the story was great when he came from the White Sox to the Brewers, stopped hitting well. Jake Bauers will be playing baseball this series. Caleb Durbin, Joey Ortiz. We like Caleb Durbin on this channel, but he's not afraid of Caleb Durbin in the box. Like the Brewers need to string hits together. And we just saw from a lot of teams this series, this last round, stringing hits together in the playoffs is really hard.
Really, really difficult. The defense tightens up. The pitchers get better. It's just hard. And especially playing in Chicago, the fact that wind blows in, as much as it has, it does make these games a little bit tighter too. You need legit pop to get these balls out in some of these games. I just can't shake the feeling with the Brewers that they feel a little bit different than last year. While it's relatively the same team, it just feels like everybody is better.
I agree with that. At the same time,
Pitching's weird though.
No, Brewers pitching is great because you're going to have, Freddie Mizorowski.
I'm interested to see
ready to rip.
What Mizorowski does, because he, as much as we know he is awesome and will be awesome, he's not the most consistent guy that we've seen in the small sample, and that's terrifying in the postseason. But also, we know the Brewers will have a super quick hook with him, I think.
And I think we'll learn a lot about when the Brewers' official roster comes out, because we're not going to get that until you guys see this on Saturday morning. But is a Chad Patrick going to be on this roster? Like, is Tobias Myers going to be on this roster?
Is Tobias Myers hurt? I thought he
No, I don't think he's hurt. Woodruff's hurt. Quintana's hurt.
Yeah, Woodruff being hurt sucks. Okay, Tobias Myers is fine. I thought Tobias Myers got hurt. No, he's good.
No,
yeah, Woodruff being hurt's a killer.
That's a killer. So again, when you look at this, especially, I don't know if Horton's going to pitch, but Matthew Boyd really impressed me this last series. James and Tyone really impressed me in this last series. Like those guys doing what they did was awesome.
That's probable starters on Fangraphs. I was going to say Fangraphs has probable starters.
Yes, but we don't have anything officially. We have Peralta officially announced for the Brewers.
Okay. Because they said that they have Priester and Patrick as game 2 and 3. I'm like, surely Mizorowski gets the nod over Chad Patrick at least.
I think that's like a computer program where they're expecting it. We don't have an official game 2 starter. And because with the DS, these teams are going to have an off day after game 1. We have 4 baseball games happening on Saturday, which is going to be a beautiful day of baseball. You guys should sit down from 2 until 11. You can watch baseball the entire time. It's going to be a blessing. But with that extra off day before Mizorowski start, you can have a very quick hook.
Yep.
If he throws 30 pitches and 15 of them are balls, he's probably out of the game.
And because you're going to play on Monday, every team's going to have an off day on Tuesday as well because of travel day to go back to the next city.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to have 3 games in 5 days to begin this National League division series.
Like you could theoretically pitch Freddie Peralta for game 3 if you really wanted to.
Theoretically, you can be very creative with this. Knowing the Brewers, they will be very creative.
Think about that for the Tigers, but I guess Scooble's not pitching game 1. Yeah,
and for the American League, game 2s are on Sunday. For the National League, game 1s are on game 2s are on Monday.
Okay,
they're splitting them up that time, so it's not like a dual off day. But that does give you a lot of leeway for a team like the Brewers with a super bullpen to go super bullpen. But also, I think of all the positional groups that we saw take a step forward in the wild card round, I think the most added confidence of any should be the Cubs bullpen.
Yes.
And the aggressiveness, I think, of Craig Counsell and the way he deployed those guys, trusting Daniel Palencia to get 5 outs at a time, throw 101 miles an hour while doing it.
This is fun. Craig Counsell going up against his old team that he took
Huge
the
storyline.
$10 million bag for
Yeah.
to go work for the rivals. This is kind of awesome, actually. This is sick. It's going to be a really
Great
good
series.
series. This is going to be fun.
This is the best series no one's talking about, absolutely. And I think it's also very evenly matched. These teams don't like each other. There's going to be funny storylines about people from Chicago heading to Milwaukee and hope maybe vice versa as well. Like this is going to be fantastic baseball.
If you are going to be able to make it out to a Chicago game, anybody listening to this, make sure you try some Malort. That stuff is that could rip the paint off a car. It's crazy.
Put some hair on your chest. I took one shot of Malort in Chicago. I left my favorite T-shirt in Airbnb one time.
I took a shot of Malort. I immediately spit it right back in. James is like, "Did you take the shot?" I was like, "I had to put it right back in. I wasn't ready for it. Did not prepare."
It bounced off of Mark's liver. But this Cubs lineup, it wasn't very good this last series. This Brewers pitching's very good. There's so much pop. There like just one home run from Seiya. This Seiya home run in game 1 changed his entire series. Like he's red hot right now. Kyle Tucker is playing. PCA has crazy vibes. Like there's Michael Busch hit a home run. Like for all the shit I've talked about the Cubs on this channel, like seeing them match up with the Brewers, I'm weirdly confident in them.
Okay, so then your prediction, I'm assuming you're picking Cubs. How many games?
Cubs in 5.
All right, I'm going Brewers in 5. I not to even just disagree with you. I just going into this, I felt like I was more scared. Like I don't know if it even makes sense to say this, but I was more scared of. I just saw a move that the Brewers made, by the way, on September 27th. I weirdly have to talk about Bruce Zimmerman. Remember my guy Bruce Zimmerman?
Oh my gosh,
he's in the Brewers organization. He cleared waivers on September 27th with them. Can't wait to see what he does next year. Regardless, I feel like the Brewers match up better against the Cubs because they've seen them more, where the Padres, I could see them being a bigger problem, even though the Cubs are the better team. But hey, Brewers in 5, that's what we're going with. Last series, Dodgers versus Phillies. This is the World Series right here. Got the Dodgers and the Phillies matching up in a 5-game series, a real travesty. We don't get to see 7 because I do think, similarly to the other series except the Tigers-Mariners, it's going the distance. This is going to be a haymaker fest. Pound for pound, this is the games. These are the series. These are the 2 best teams in baseball. I'd love to know how you're feeling about this one, James.
Excited just to watch these 2 teams go head to head. Shohei Ohtani's on the mound. Game 1 is just hearing that is crazy to even think about. The way this Phillies team ended the season, I think that they believe they're the best team. The way that especially Jesus Luzardo, Christopher Sanchez, and Ranger Suarez, this 3-headed lefty monster, ended the season. So many of these lefty pitchers just making hay in these playoffs, I think is very interesting. Like the Dodgers' best hitters are lefties. Like, I mean, besides Mookie Betts, but like it's a lot of work being done right now for Shohei, Freddie Freeman. Not that anything is going to affect those guys, but it's a different look. And the fact that Phillies are going to throw 3 of them in a row right off the bat, it's very interesting. It adds a different layer that these teams don't usually have to deal with.
Yes. I mean, you look up and down both of these rosters, we know how good the Dodgers are. Phillies have the big names. The guys that fill in between are a little bit different than what the Dodgers have. But like you said, Phillies were one of the hottest teams going into the postseason. You got the weird thing where the Phillies have had these first-round buys before, and they can't get past it, and they always hit a wall. They seem to get ice cold. Trey Turner talked about it and said that's not an excuse, and I agree, because the Dodgers had a bye last year, and they won the World Series. Everyone clearly forgets that whenever they talk about these layoffs, but I am interested to see what the Phillies do here, because they are so top-heavy in that lineup, where we've seen at times they've changed this lineup to be a little more aggressive. They've had Harrison Bader lead off at times. Like, are they going to, you think, just push the chips in and go like top the order, carry us, or they're going to try to even it out a little bit more?
Top of the order, carry us 100%, especially with Turner coming back and playing those handful. I think those 1 or 2 games
at
the end.
Game, maybe.
Yeah, just to get the feet wet at the end of the regular season before this matchup is fun. There's also some funny little side quest stories in this
Castellanos.
Series. Like Castellanos is funny. Like is he even going to be on the roster? He's had bad words for Rob Thompson.
Very awkward words.
Walker Buehler going to be on the roster? He's a guy who's going to. We know that he loves nothing more on earth than having a chip on his own shoulder, and then also
that no one else put there.
Literally, like again, talking about we had in the wild card series, the Dodgers held 3 catchers because Will Smith still is not healthy. We saw Ben Rortford hitting and catching and actually hit a double. Like we don't. There's a lot of weird. Roki Sasaki might be the Dodgers closer now,
and he looked awesome as the closer.
And then again, I mentioned all 3 of the pitchers the Phillies are going to throw are going to be lefties. Kike Hernandez and Tommy Edman, known lefty destroyers. Like, that's going to be a crazy
I'll,
thing here. Also, Tommy Edman's ankle is still botched. Can he
but
really play the field?
But it doesn't matter because there's going to be all these left-handed pitchers for the Phillies, and the Dodgers do have the third highest WRC plus against left-handed pitching this year.
Because he's bottom roster guys.
Yeah, like because the top guys are always going to hit well, but
Yeah.
like Kike Hernandez, I don't know what happens, but when the playoffs happen, they hit a button on him, and he just becomes one of the all-time great postseason baseball players.
And then again, Teoscar's a lefty masher. I just mentioned Edman. Andy Pajes, as he struggled through the second half, can still hit lefties. Like,
I think
It's a
Freddie Freeman's always hit lefties just as well as he has righties. Shohei Ohtani's unbelievable.
And it really helps the Dodgers that they get that off day on Sunday, because you can bring back Blake Snell for game 2 and Yoshinobu Yamamoto for game 3. And all of a sudden, you're right back where you want to be. Maybe they push and use Glass now. We're not really sure. We didn't see him. They also still have Emmett Sheehan. Like, while the Dodgers have a terrible bullpen, they have 7 good starting pitchers right now. So
Yes.
I don't know who.
And the Dodgers bullpen sucks, but like the arms are still not guys that
Yeah.
I ever want to face. Like as old and crumbly as Blake Trinan will be, still throws 98 and has some of the nastiest movement we've ever seen.
I mean, we're going to see the scared straight meme for Alex Vesia every single time Schwarber and Harper come up with guys on base. Like, this might be Alex Vesia's swan song for how much they're using him through the second half of this season, and especially in these playoffs.
We're going to see Anthony Banda maybe in this series. I know they didn't have him on the regular roster, but
I mean, maybe he comes back to do it, but like,
just because of Harper Schwarber, like that just alone.
Well, same with Jack Dreyer, they just kind of made a clone of Alex Vesia and tried to do the whole thing again. Like, the Dodgers are very interesting. A lot is on Dave Roberts' plate with his pitching staff, and we haven't heard much about how they're going to deploy these guys. Like, where's Tyler Glass now going to fit in? Like, it's amazing that they have such a spoil of riches. It's amazing they're starting Shohei Ohtani in game 1, if I'm being honest with you.
Why is that amazing?
I think that's a big risk. I know he was lights out down the stretch, but what are you expecting? Like, maybe there's a planned piggybacking of him and Sheehan or Glass now or something?
Probably not Sheehan because he pitched the other day against the Reds.
Game 2.
Yeah. No, I thought, yeah. But he looked horrible, and I did think he threw.
Yeah.
Like, they took him out mid at bat, which was kind of insane.
That was, again, but the Dodgers are just ready to do nonsense, crazy stuff happening right now with them.
I would think that Glasnow is ready to go right after Ohtani, if I had to guess. But we'll find out. This might age like milk. This team's just so good. This team's absolutely loaded. Like,
both of them are. Like, gotta give some credit back to the Phillies. Again, like, those three, like Kike Hernandez, Teoscar, Tommy Edman, that's gonna be big for these lefties, Sanchez, Luzardo, and Suarez. Luzardo was pumping down the stretch. He was unbelievable. Best he's ever pitched his entire career.
I have less faith in the Phillies this year than I have in recent memory. Just it feels the Dodgers just it's more so that they're running into the Dodgers, but I just feel like the Dodgers are just still leaps and bounds better than them.
It would be very Phillies though to lose last year to the Mets and this year beat the Dodgers.
It would be very Phillies.
It also, like, we're talking about the Dodgers bullpen a lot. I think we're also talking about them because they're top of mind. They just played the series. We watched them just decimate the Reds. This Phillies bullpen is going to be asked to get a lot of tough outs. And I really trust like 2.5 guys in the bullpen to actually do that. Yohan Duran is amazing. I'm curious how aggressive Rob Thompson is with him because he's so far and away better than any reliever in that bullpen. And sometimes the save doesn't come in the 9th inning. I wonder if he's going to be aware of that. But also Matt Strahm is amazing too. He's an elite reliever. Past those guys, it's going to be very interesting to see who gets these outs.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, I made my postseason predictions before all this stuff happened. And this one was correct. And I had the Phillies moving on. So I've got to still put them moving on just to rock with my predictions. The way that the Dodgers played makes me feel like this is the Dodgers series, and I don't know how they honestly lose this. But because this is the matchup that I predicted before, I'm just going to still stick with it. I'll go Phillies in 5. They have the other thing we have to talk about, too, is the Phillies have to win. Yes. They have to. This team will not look the same next year if they win. It won't look the same for sure if they lose.
This team will definitely look the same. Who's going to be off this team from the core?
I think they'll fire Rob Thompson. I think that they're going to move. Schwarber might not fully be back.
I think I'd be shocked if Schwarber goes anywhere else.
I think he said he wants to be back and that he is willing to come back. But let's just pretend a team comes in and is like, what if you take a 3-year, $90 million contract? You going to say no to that, Kyle Schwarber, to be our DH?
If Ranger Suarez, if it says on Baseball Reference he's a free agent 2026, he's a free agent this season. Okay, yes. So that's the one guy who might not be back.
No Zach Wheeler all of next year.
Yeah, well, no Zach Wheeler right now as well. That sucks.
That does suck for them. Zach Wheeler, this is an even cooler series.
Yes, it's way better. But I think I'm taking the Dodgers. I'm going to take them in 4.
Ooh,
Actually, I
that's
think
how
they're.
that's how I was feeling. But again, because I'm a man of morals, I have to stick to my guns and pick the
Is,
Phillies in 5.
are morals the word? But yeah, I will. Also, like we haven't talked about Aaron Nola. Does Aaron Nola possibly pitch in this series? Do you trust
He
him to get outs against this lineup?
he was incredible against the Twins his last game of the season.
Great. Do you want to try pitching against the Twins? You probably could do okay. Like there's a lot of decisions that Rob Thompson's going to have to make, but not off the bat. The first 3 games are ordained, ready
Yes,
to go.
easy,
But
simple.
I'm very curious. I mean, you're going to Matt Strom's going to pitch a lot. You might see Joan Duran pitch 5 innings in 3 games this series.
It's possible. You're going to see a lot of David Robertson. You're going to see a lot of, you're going to see a lot. You're going to see a lot of Tim Meza, a lot of Tim Meza and Tanner Banks.
With the off day, Tanner Banks is one of the more unsung good lefty relievers in the league. But with the off days, I think the Phillies should be pushing the Joan Duran button as much as they possibly can. With 3 games in 3 days, just 3 games in 6 days to start the series,
Yeah,
you might as well just jam that.
All right. Dodgers in 4 from James. Phillies in 5 from me. Feels dirty to say because I don't believe it, but that's what we do over here on the Windup. Right now, I've got the 1 point lead over James for our predictions. We'll see how this one looks.
I told you we would get tons of game 3s though. All 3 of the series, I said we're going 3. I nailed that.
And I think there were no game 3s besides the Mets
Last
in the
year,
wild card rounds, which is kind of funny.
Only, in the last 3 years, the wild card rounds, there were only 4 total game 3s. This year we got 3. And the Yankees were the first ever team to lose game 1 and win the wild card series.
Hey, shout out the Yankees. You know what they always say about the Yankees? Breaking records, making history. So good. All right, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the Windup. If you enjoy it, drop a like on the video. We appreciate you. Let us know in the comments what your guys' predictions are as well. You can follow James on social media at
James Schiano.
I'm Draft Neck Mark with a C. We'll catch you guys all in the next one. Peace out.